Welcome to the Fitness and Finance Podcast with Jeff Smith from The Retirement Smith and Jennifer Scherer from Fredericksburg Fitness Studio. True wealth isn't just about finances. It's about maintaining a healthy body and a secure financial future. The Fitness and Finance Podcast is here to help you build strength in both areas, tackling financial strategies for retirement while also discussing ways to stay active, healthy, and energized. Now let's get started with Fitness and Finance. Welcome to Fitness and Finance Radio. I am your host, Jeff Smith, and some of you may not recognize me because I've really let myself go. But no, you know I'm not Jeff Smith. My shirt has sleeves.
I was going to say.
I mean, I still bring the gun show. But I did let myself go. I'm actually your co-host, Tony Shore. And don't panic. Jennifer's here and Jeff is here. I know you guys started to panic like, ooh, I don't like this. This doesn't look right. But we're going to have a great show today in the brand new studio.
I am
a
so
brand new
excited.
studio, pro cameras, pro lighting. Everything's pro, which is why I'm going to get out of the way and let the pros take over. And that would be Jeff Smith. Ladies and gentlemen, Jeffrey Smith.
Woo.
I'm going to hand over the reins. I'm going to hand over the mic. Jennifer, talk to the kids while we make the switch.
I am so excited about what you guys have done since coming. You and Justin yesterday have done a complete transformation of our
It's crazy.
office space.
Isn't it nice?
It is
Very
incredible.
impressive.
We are now sponsored.
We are.
This is why we have this upgrade, because we've reached the mark. We've had 56 people subscribe.
I love it.
So
Hey, you've
everybody's
had a
now-
lot more. You've had a lot more, though. You've done shorts from the shows.
Yes.
I mean, you've had thousands of people view your shorts.
That's so cool.
And subscribing to the show, you've got 56, which is really good considering we're just getting this thing rolling.
Yeah, I feel
Yes,
like we get a consistent, like a fair amount of people that watch it on a regular basis. So but this is great.
This is so nice.
We didn't actually get sponsored. That's not true. But Tony and Justin showed up, and what a blessing these two guys are. They've been working tirelessly for the last 24 hours trying to put this together before this show. So
Yeah, and it shows.
Yeah.
I mean, really, the lighting, the equipment.
The sound sounds better.
Yeah. I mean, how many different stores did you have to go to get the right
gosh.
cord?
We've probably been to, in the last 24 hours, 6 different stores.
Yeah.
To get everything we needed to get. And that's thinking we had all the equipment already here.
Right.
I mean, it's like when you do a home project. I'm off screen right now, but I will say I just did a screened in patio. I probably went to Lowe's 500 or 600 times.
Yeah.
It's always the way it works, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. You're like, you
You
think
get
you got
home and
everything.
like, I don't have the right bit for this.
Yes.
I need a new socket to fit I bought all these screws that are just right.
Yeah.
I have no way to screw them in because I don't have the star driver or
Oh,
I don't
right.
have the right
Yeah.
size socket. So yeah, this was kind of like that. It always is.
We went to a few stores last night at like 8:00 at night, and that was actually really cool because Fredericksburg after a certain time is not as bad. Yeah, I think it was a perfect time to go. We didn't get caught in too much traffic, and
I did not go.
It's like a retirement community.
it was.
It was like we're
night.
at Sanibel Island or the Villages or something. I'm like,
Yes.
Fredericksburg,
Yeah.
Fredericksburg at night, it kind of slows down a
It
bit.
did slow down, and Justin had his first glance at home, so that was and Tony too. Yeah.
Oh, both
Yeah,
of
never
you.
been to an at home. They had everything there.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
great.
Yeah, and we're going to add some decorations. You're going to get a shelf and put some things on it. So it's not even finished yet,
Yeah.
but I think it looks fantastic.
It really does.
Yeah, it
I
really
mean, it's
does.
comfortable too.
Doesn't it look legit?
I mean, I'm a
does.
little disappointed that we don't get to cuddle on the couch anymore.
I know that is disappointing.
Yeah, we saw one look at the red velvet couch and we're like,
The velvet.
I shoved it off the deck into there was a desk in here and a red velvet couch
Yeah,
when
he threw
Justin
it.
and I got here. And
He did too.
we shoved them off the deck into the alley
Yes.
beside the building. And then we're going to chop them up later for kindling.
Oh, yes. You did mention that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well,
All right, guys, what are we talking about today? Well, in fact, what are you two talking about? I'm not even on the show.
Tony's out of sight, out of mind here.
Yeah, Jeff, you mentioned talking about
Yeah, just communication in general. Like, how people talk and how people communicate. It's really important on how they move forward with whatever process that you're planning on walking them through, right? So I think Jennifer's always had really good communication language with everybody, but her clients especially, because she can lead them through how did that develop over time for you? What were some of the key factors for you to develop that very specific communication language?
Yeah. So I find that when I'm direct, less is more. A lot of clients, when they come into the studio, they're already overwhelmed. They've tried a lot of different methods to reach their goal, and they get stuck and they need help. And a lot of times, rather than over talking, I get right down to the point, like, what has been preventing you from achieving your goals?
Yeah. It is always interesting to me, and how you go right for it, and I mean, I've had those moments too, but I think what I'm kind of driving at here is, I think people do get tired of there's this fatigue of commercials of what's right, what's wrong, all that stuff, especially in finances too, that they're constantly being told, this is good, this is bad, and it's really confusing.
So yeah, go to the source is usually the answer. You'll find the answer when you actually get to the source of that information, especially when it comes to nutrition advice. A lot of the claims that are being made by people that are looking to make a dollar in some way. A lot of times, we just talked about this, supplements, and Tony, your dad being one of them. I think he fell prey to Prevagen or one of those.
Yeah, I mean, there's memory, there's supplements, and they make them look like the official ads from the drug companies, and they have a popular name because they get popular. But I read up, and they really aren't effective in improving memory. And in fact, they've done studies where they showed, my dad said, "Hey, should I buy this?" And it's like $200 to $400 a bottle. And then they make you sign up for a subscription. So they get them for life. And, elderly people sometimes, my dad isn't going to know how to cancel that. It's going to be hard to cancel it. And then they've got you. And the placebos in independent studies showed the placebos had more effect than the actual. And like you said, there are ways to improve memory. And the biggest is, of course, stimulation, doing crossword puzzles, reading, things like that, doing puzzles. However, there's also some good things like fish oil and things that are proven to help. A healthy diet will do more to improve your memory than any of those supplements.
Blood flow to the brain. Exercise will help memory as well.
Yeah,
those are things.
The more active you are, they say, the better your memory. You can help at least stave off things like Alzheimer's or
But it's hard when you have this option presented that's fast, it's easy, it appears like a no-brainer, and then compare that to the long, arduous, consistent plan when you have to eat healthy and take supplements and do it over time. It's like, well, let me just take this pill, or let me just do this quick rich scheme.
Yeah, well, and I've seen that a lot too. But I think some of these claims can be very dangerous, and I think what was it that we were watching that there's a doctor that's saying that oatmeal is the worst thing in the world.
You just brought that to attention.
I was like, come on, bro. Like, I eat oatmeal every day. And
if it's a plant and it is grown, look at the nutrition profile. Does it match your goals? Is it going to allow, is the carbohydrate content of oatmeal going to overshoot your total carbohydrate goal? Likely it's not if you have a balanced diet. Now, if you're eating oatmeal every meal of the day, you're going to be missing out on other nutrients.
Right. Well, I think, I think that the reason that they do it is they're selling books, right? So they're selling a concept, they're selling something to you. And, that guy in particular is very frustrating for me because it kind of hits a chord. But we were talking about, all the things that are are kind of, fake news, right?
Mhm.
We talk about it all the time because,
Mhm.
Jennifer's master's degree in nutrition,
Well,
right? And we have people that are fighting you about whether or not, carnivore is a long-term,
yeah.
solution.
And a lot of the diets out there will work short term,
Right.
but at some point, there's going to be
Pay the piper.
getting back into a sustainable way of living. It's like anything, choosing consistency over intensity is the way to go.
Yeah, we've talked about that before in the show.
I mean, I have a client that literally tried to lose weight every year for 15 years. Every January, she came and she's like, "I'm ready. I'm back." Like, what's going on here? Like, what is happening? Every year she's trying to lose weight and she's
Mhm.
tried this diet and this workout plan and that workout plan and everything that guarantees results in 30 days or less. Well, in 30 days, what is she doing? She's not sticking with it.
Mhm.
So when it finally clicked with her, it's like, oh, I don't need to work out all out intensity every day of the week.
Right.
I don't need to cut out my carbohydrates
Mhm.
to a bare minimum level. That's not sustainable. I
Right.
just need to do this in a consistent, realistic way that works for my body. And
Well,
she actually
intentional.
enjoys it.
Yeah.
It's not like, she would go to exercise and she would feel like, "Man, I just gotta get through this." She had
Mhm.
very little enthusiasm, very little energy to do the
Yeah.
workouts.
Well, and I think on the finance side, we have, people railing against annuities, right? There's people out there like their whole profession revolves around destroying annuities and all this stuff. And, I'm not saying there's on the other hand, there's guys that are just only selling annuities to people as if they were the only solution. And, I think that that's also an issue, right? I think when there's money involved and there's concepts to be sold, people want some simple solution. They don't want to have to overthink it or think too much. So when these loud voices are out there, you have to really learn how to discern, you know, does that sound right to me? If there are, I don't know, 75 issuers of annuities, do you think that that's a bad thing? Is that a bad product? I don't know. You might want to investigate that, right? So I think for certain circumstances, they're fantastic. I love them. But do I think that they're for everybody? I don't. You have to have a specific need, but it's the same thing, right? So our carbohydrate needs vary depending on activity level, and maybe somebody doesn't need oatmeal if they're not doing anything.
Oh,
Yeah,
right. And it
you
could
know,
be the portion of the oatmeal. I mean,
right.
look at the context of the information as well.
Hmm.
A lot of times there's, asterisks. Pay
Yeah.
attention and read the whole claim
Well,
before you just put this whole blanket statement over oatmeal is bad.
exactly. That's
know?
that's the part I get
Yeah.
annoyed with, right? It's like, advice should be tailored to individuals. They
Yeah.
shouldn't be a situation where, there may be some universal things that people can all agree on for certain things, but I think for your fitness and your finance, those are, completely unique.
Mhm.
I mean, there's going to be a data set that people are within if you're in this range or in that range or whatever, but individualizing things is so important, which is why I want to talk about communication, because communicating with your client and communicating in general with your advisor or your nutritionist is so important. Having both, two-way communication where it's authentic, it's true, it's fact-based,
Mhm.
and it cuts through the nonsense, right? You
Mhm.
have to want to be better in those areas, in order to start really achieving success, because if you're withholding information or you're not being honest with yourself or others around you, that's an issue.
Yeah, and I think eventually the clients respect our honesty. It's sometimes hard to hear the truth when I make an observation like, "Wait a second. This does not align with the goals you stated to me.
Hmm.
What am I missing?" Put it back on them.
Right.
If they keep telling me every weekend they're eating out every meal of the day and they're not doing their exercise homework,
Right.
well, what did I miss during the onboarding? Because you stated that you were willing to spend an hour 4 days a week and you're only seeing me an hour twice a week.
Hmm.
And so bringing it back and allowing them to be accountable to you, I think is really important. And I think the same goes to fitness. It's like, well, you stated that you had this plan to save this certain amount of money.
Hmm.
What's happening with the frivolous spending? What am I missing?
Right.
Um,
Yeah,
yeah,
I
I
think
think
that
those
drives
honest
back to the
conversations.
why and what it is that people really, really want to accomplish. And I think that
Mhm.
understanding that there's lip service
Yep.
You know, that like, you know, I think understanding yourself too and saying, hey, geez, I need to be honest if this is gonna, you know, be a viable situation, or is it something that it sounds good. It sounds good that I need to do something here.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's the start of the new year.
Right.
I'm supposed to be fiscally responsible and fit within a month.
Yep.
Let's do this. Let's dance.
And it's usually a lot of motivation that just wanes because it's not sustainable. I mean, if you really look at the optics, it's too much too fast.
Mhm.
If you chunk it, you know, pick one item that you really want to work on
Mhm.
rather than say, I'm going to work with my dietitian, I'm going to work on my mobility, I'm going to do my cardio, I'm going to do strength, and I'm going to meal prep. It's
Yeah.
like, whoa. You know,
Mm.
let's break this down. What is the most important on that in terms of priority? And let's prioritize. Let's master it. And once you've mastered that, let's move on to the next thing. And maybe
Mhm.
you might fall off on that first thing you mastered. So we might have to go back to that.
Yeah. You do have clients though that
Yeah.
can handle, you know, 4 different things at one time. You know, I've seen that.
Yeah.
But for somebody who's starting at ground zero, you know,
It can be a lot.
it can be a lot and overwhelming. I think the same in the finance world, right? So if you've never had a financial planner, and I'm telling you, hey, we have to do an overhaul, that can be pretty scary. So you have to take those things step by step, and I think that's why we do why I communicate and use the language that I do through time, is because in having a process so people know and they feel secure inside of that process, I think it helps tremendously to know where you're going to end up potentially. Because if you do know when you're going to end up, you know what to shoot for, what to expect, and you know what's expected of you, right?
Yeah, communication is key.
Yeah.
And you guys have covered a lot. We're going to wrap it up. We're going to keep this one short today.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, we're just testing out the waters with the new studio.
Yes.
And I think this
so
is going to
good.
work out great for you guys.
It is. We also are about 8 minutes shy of Tony's meet and greet.
I know.
We're going to call that the Tony Talk instead of the TED Talk.
I love
I'm doing a Tony Talk today,
Yeah,
so we've
Tony
got to
Talk.
run. But the studio and the show, you guys continue to improve on it. And again, it's just a way of communicating with your clients.
Yeah.
And like you say, communication is key. And that's key for you guys to your clients. And that's why you do things like the show and offer your services. And for your clients, communicate with you. What are they trying to accomplish?
Right.
And you can help them with realistic ways to accomplish their financial goals and their fitness goals. You guys are great.
Oh,
How
thanks,
can they
Tony.
get a hold of you?
So visit our website, which is fitnessfinancepro.com.
I'm Vanna today.
Yeah, look at that. Right there. It's just fitnessfinancepro.com.
Yes.
So easy.
Yes.
And they can get a hold of either one of you
Or
on the
both.
finance side, the fitness side, schedule a consultation.
Yeah.
Fantastic show today, guys.
thank
I
you.
love being off camera and just watching you two do all the heavy lifting.
That's fun.
This is easy.
Aw.
This is what
Well,
I'm used to of
we're
40
super
years of
thankful.
radio.
I love it.
Yeah.
Well, you have always said I had a face for radio. Right?
People tell me that.
I mean, and I got that going for me.
Yeah, which is nice.
Which is nice.
Yeah. All right. Well, hey, everybody, that does it for today's episode of Fitness and Finance Radio with our hosts, Jeffrey Smith and Jennifer Scherer. Keep smiling. Keep smiling. Keep smiling. We'll edit it out. We'll edit it out.
Yes.
Don't worry about it.